Let me start with a simple analogy that perfectly captures the relationship between the brain and the mind. A loudspeaker is a physical object you can touch and see, right? Just like your brain. But the sound it produces is invisible and untouchable, yet very real. Just like your mind, your brain is the hardware, while your mind is all the incredible things it can produce. The brain is a remarkable 3-pound organ protected by your skull, containing an astounding 100 billion neurons. We covered its structure in detail in our previous video. Click on the info card on the right corner to check it out. This relationship comes to play at different times, even that period when you're sitting in a coffee shop sipping a drink. At that moment, your brain is busy processing the temperature of the cup and coordinating your hand movements and managing your breathing, which are all physical processes. But at the same time, your mind is creating an entirely different experience. It could be reminiscing about a similar coffee shop you visited the previous year, planning tomorrow's meeting, or even questioning why you ordered hot coffee on such a warm day. That's the fascinating interplay between the brain and mind. Here's something crucial that neuroscientists have discovered. Your mind isn't just a passive passenger in your skull. It's actually an energy-generating force that works through 3 interconnected aspects: thinking, feeling, and choosing. When you think, you inevitably feel something. When you think and feel, you make choices. These 3 elements always work together, creating what scientists call your stream of consciousness. Close your eyes for a moment and think about biting into a fresh, juicy lemon. Really imagine it. See what's happening? First, you're thinking about the lemon, that's the thought component. Then you start to feel the sensory experience. Maybe your mouth waters or you scrunch your face, that's the feeling component. Finally, you might choose to either continue the visualization or stop, because the sensation is too intense. That's the choice component. This isn't just imagination, it's what scientists call neuroplasticity, where your mind's activity creates actual physical changes in your brain's structure. The truth is, your brain functions at different levels: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. I personally like to think of it like an iceberg. The conscious level being the tip, where active thinking happens, and the subconscious, which is just below the surface, where thoughts bubble away without your direct awareness. The unconscious level, on the other hand, lies in the depths. It is the place where primitive instincts and deep-seated patterns reside. But here's where it gets really interesting. While your brain follows the fixed rules of biology, neurons firing, chemicals flowing, your mind can break free from these physical constraints. It can imagine impossible things, solve abstract problems, and even question its own existence. Your brain might be confined to your skull, but your mind, it can travel through time and space. You might be wondering how this distinction applies to the real world. When someone has a brain tumor, we can see it in an MRI because it's physical. But conditions of the mind, like depression or anxiety, while just as real, require different approaches. Now, this understanding helps us approach mental health more effectively. Knowing that while we can't physically touch the mind, we can influence it through therapy, mindfulness, and other cognitive practices. When you're learning a new skill like playing the piano, your brain handles the physical aspects, which are the finger movements, coordination, reading the music, and so on. But your mind is what interprets the music, feels the emotions it conveys, and decides to keep practicing even when it's challenging. Ultimately, they can't do without each other. Remember how we said the brain is a neuroplastic responder? Well, this has huge implications for your daily life. Every time you learn something new, whether it's a TikTok dance or a complex math problem, your mind is actively directing your brain to create new neural pathways. It's like being the architect and building engineer of your own brain's renovation. Remember when you were learning to drive a car? At first, your mind was intensely focused on every single action. Checking mirrors, pressing pedals, signaling turns. It seemed like a lot was going on. But I guarantee your brain felt it more. It literally worked overtime in that period, building new neural pathways for each of these actions. But after a while, you'd have noticed that those actions became automatic. Well, that was your brain efficiently storing these patterns. But it was your mind that directed this learning process. This brain-mind connection also plays a crucial role in our health and well-being. When you're stressed about an upcoming presentation, your mind is racing with thoughts about what could go wrong, and suddenly your brain responds by triggering your autonomic nervous system. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your breathing gets shallow, and all that crazy stuff. But it doesn't end just there. Your mind can help calm these physical responses. Through conscious breathing or positive visualization, your mind can signal your brain to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural relaxation response. Understanding this distinction gives us powerful tools for personal growth because now you know that when you're faced with a challenge and your brain automatically triggers stress responses, your mind has the ability to step back, evaluate the situation, and choose a different response. This is particularly valuable when dealing with habits or emotional patterns you'd like to change. Even though your brain is wired for certain responses based on past experiences, your mind, through conscious awareness and choice, can begin to rewire these patterns. Now, wait a minute. It's not instant, but it's absolutely possible through consistent practice. Your brain is incredibly complex, no doubt, but your mind is limitless. And while your brain processes about 11 million bits of information per second, your mind is what makes sense of it all, creating your unique perspective on life. And at the end of the day, it is what makes you, well, you. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Also, let us know what you think about this brain-mind diversity in the comments below. Thanks for watching.